Abarigani, Aindugu Nadada. This is your Ndugu Abu Amin Ra, coming to you today to point out a lesson, a glaring lesson, that the entire world had a chance to observe and draw their conclusions from. Here was the lesson. It's a lesson in our history. It was our history in minuscule form, on the micro level. There's the plantation, the slave owners, and there are the blacks who struggle against the system of slavery that has them entrapped. Amaindu Nadada, listen, this is what occurred. A black member of our race had enough intelligence, enough fortitude, enough morality, enough love for his people to protest the treatment of our young men, our women, our children by the police departments as they shoot them in the back, plant guns on them, set them up, and the whole bit. So he was protesting this, and he decided to protest by kneeling on one knee doing a national anthem. He did this, and some of the people, the other people, Uncle Toms and coons, and on the other side, white devils, white racists, white supremacists. Devils decided that they would change the narrative on what the protest was all about. They switched it from being a protest against police killings, black men, women, children, and the whole white sector became interested in this and were listening for someone to tell them what was going on. But this is what occurred. And once they decided that they were going to fight this by boycotting the games, these up there niggas was trying to take over. So if they stopped going to the games, they would get fired. Because that's what their leader, Donald Trump, told them to do. The owners, that is, the plantation owners. The football team ain't nothing but a slave plantation. The owner and his slaves. And the owner reaps profits off of his slaves, regardless to how well he feeds them. He's a slave owner. He controls them. He owns them. So they changed the narrative from being a protest against police brutality and killing of our people. They changed it to standing up and disrespecting the anthem, the flag, by which many people had given their lives in defending this country and this flag and this anthem. And what those slaves were doing was not right. It was morally wrong. Your first duty is to your flag and your anthem. But my brothers and sisters, I understand, because I feel the same way. How in the hell is a flag with the pole up my rectum and a singing and respecting a song written by a racist slave-owning cracker who spent the rest of his life defending slavery? How can these have the same meaning and value to me as they have to anyone else? White folks. This had nothing to do with the flag and the anthem. This was a protest. This reminded me of the 1950s and 60s. We tried to tell us we had to ride the bus. We can't protest against the bus. We got to do this and we got to do that. We got to do it your way or no way. And we stood up and we protested anyway. And we ended up with victory, didn't we? A pseudo victory, but nevertheless a victory. So, why would you have us want to stand up and give praise and honor to a flag that's never given us praise and honor? As a matter of fact, never given us rights, never viewed us and treated us as human beings. Red with our ancestors' blood. They've gone to every one of your wars and fought for you. And yet, they're not seen the same way under this flag, as you call it, the red, white, and blue. But let me advise you of something. There's another flag in the country you may not be aware of. And I'm not talking about the Klan flag. I'm talking about the black, red, and green flag. I hope you understand those meanings. And I hope black people especially walk by those meanings and act by those meanings and begin to understand that white folks don't care nothing about us. We have to become primary. We have to organize ourselves amongst ourselves and keeping everybody else out. And once we are organized, then we can join hands with other groups fighting for the same causes. Otherwise, they are on their own and we are on our own. We are first, but we let them steal the narrative from us. They did the same thing back there with Black Lives Matter. They changed it to All Lives Matter. They took it from you. See, we have to separate from them for a while and get our act together amongst ourselves. Then come together and join hands with them on things that are mutually beneficial for both of us. Otherwise, we don't need them and they certainly need us. So my brothers and sisters, my Nduga, that was a moment that had our whole history encapsulated within it. And I hope you saw it, because that's it right there in a nutshell. Peace. Once again, Hotep, my Nduga.